Good morning, friends. Happy Valentine's Day. It's Friday here, so it's Valentine's Day here for us. By the time you see this, it'll have been a few days ago. But you saw we got the kids just a few little candy things for Valentine's Day. I didn't get Will anything. We don't really celebrate, but I am making cookies today and cooking one of his favorite dinners, which is chicken parm. So I figured that would make up for the lack of sweet treats that neither he or I need. I especially don't need because I'm diabetic, but I just wanted to say good morning and touch base with you and bring you along on another day in our life. So as I mentioned, it is Friday, and on Fridays we don't have school. Typically that is because under normal circumstances, Will has Fridays and Saturdays off, so it's just nice to have that as like the start of our weekend together and not trying to do like our normal school routine while he's also home, because he likes to like have his downtime in the morning with video games or YouTube, and it works best to have Fridays off. So, but right now where he's in his CDL training classes for the next few weeks, he works Monday through Friday, but we still have Fridays off. So it's kind of weird having our school day off and him not being here. But speaking of school, I was up super late last night, kind of revamping and planning for next school year already. I was watching some YouTube videos and it kind of inspired me to take a look at what we have planned. And technically I have all of our curriculum, a majority of our curriculum purchased for next year from Campfire Curriculums and Gather Around Homeschool, because we do unit studies together as a family. And I have most of that purchased when Gather Around had a sale this past year, springtime I think. I purchased all of the unit studies for next year. So I shouldn't have to purchase much other than math for the kids. So that's kind of nice. But I was trying to like revamp what our days might look like, because at that point Alice will be in 7th grade, Jackson will be in 8th grade, and I think it's time to buckle down a little bit more rigorously, or at least that's how I felt at 1 a.m. I posted on Facebook that middle of the night homeschool mom me, is a whole different breed than daytime homeschool mom me. Like middle of the night me has all the plans and energy and motivation to revamp and do all the things, and then daytime me looks back and wonders what nighttime me was thinking. So it's just kind of funny. But I was going through just our books on our shelf. We don't own a ton of books, but I do have some collections, and I was looking to see what might be good for read alouds and kind of just doing some planning. So that was kind of nice, except it kept me up way too late. So yeah, all that to say, today is a day off, and I'm kind of immersed in curriculum at the moment. I'm looking into some things, seeing if we might want to change some things, planning what we do have so that it gets utilized, all that sort of stuff. I am about to start the audiobook Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate. I've heard really good things about it, and one of my close friends, Lauren, just read it recently and she recommended it, so I figured I would start it. It is a little bit of a longer book, about 14 and a half hours on audio, but it's supposed to be pretty good, so here's hoping. It is lunchtime. Jackson is not hungry at the moment. Alice requested some beefaroni, so I'm going to go ahead and microwave some of that for her. And then for myself, I'm going to make some buffalo chicken wraps. I've got the Real Good Foods Co. lightly breaded chicken strips. I'm going to throw a few of those in the air fryer. And I've got these Carb Counter low carb tortillas, the mini ones, and then some Sweet Baby Ray's buffalo sauce. I'll probably drizzle a little ranch on there as well, but I didn't get it out. So I'm going to go ahead and get this going and have some lunch. And there's my lunch for today. High protein, high fiber, low carb. It's that time to refill water now that lunch is over. Now that I've finished lunch and I finished my coffee, I need to make sure to keep hydrated through the day. So here's your friendly reminder to do the same. All right, it is, I don't know what time it is, just after 1. I am going to make some strawberry cake mix cookies. Super easy recipe. All you need is, and you can do this with any boxed cake mix. I'm just doing strawberry because it's pink for Valentine's Day. So you're going to need 1 cake mix, 2 eggs, 1/3 cup of oil, and then your mix in. So I'm doing mini chocolate chips. Excuse me. So we're just gonna get this all mixed up in a bowl, and it's gonna make a dough that you then put out on parchment lined cookie sheets, and you bake at 350 for about 12 minutes. This would be good as like devil's food cake, like a dark fudgy cookie would be good. Another one I saw was red velvet with white chocolate chips. Thought that would be tasty. I'm not measuring my chocolate chips, I'm just kind of eyeballing it. It's probably a lot. It's okay. It's okay. Now we're just gonna get this all mixed up. And throw chocolate chips everywhere. It's gonna be a really thick batter. Just wanna make sure all your cake mix is incorporated. Scrape the bottom of the bowl. That powder likes to hang out underneath. This is a workout, it's thick. It smells good though. So I thought these would be a good Valentine's Day option. Bright pink with chocolate chips. So there's my, you can't even tell, it matches the inside of the bowl. So I am going to clean this up real quick. There's a trick for you. Crumple your parchment paper, and then it'll lay flat easier. Trying to situate myself here. Scrape the spoon. Alright, and then you just drop them as round cookie balls. These are gonna, I'm making bigger cookies, so I'm using bigger balls of dough. It smells deliciously strawberry-ish. And I'm gonna need another pan. Do the same thing. So that made 3, 6, 9, 12 cookies. So 12 large ones. Probably spread some of these out. Alright, I'm gonna wash my hands, wait for the oven to preheat, and then these will go in, like I said, for about 12 minutes. it has been 2 hours since I ate those buffalo chicken wraps, so I'm curious to see what it has done to my blood sugar. I didn't take a fasting one this morning. I often forget, if I'm being honest. So I don't know what my fasting one was this morning, but I am curious to see how that meal treated me. So I'm gonna go ahead and check that. I just got off the phone with Will. He's on his way home. They got out early today from CDL class, so he gets to come home a little bit earlier than expected, which is kind of nice for Valentine's Day. And he got to drive the truck a little bit today, backing up, which was slightly exciting and nerve-wracking for him, but I'm proud of him. Alright. Oh, very good. Sitting at 93 2 hours after eating. So that's a good reading. I like to be under 120 2 hours after, as I'm sitting next to a plate of cookies. Ha! Taunting me. They actually aren't. They smell good, they look good, but for some reason I'm not craving them. So that's good. A lot of you have asked if all of my baking has been like temptation for me, and it really isn't most of the time. Sometimes I'll try like a small portion of whatever I made just to see, because I do have a sweet tooth, but I know it's not good for me, so I try to avoid it. But these, I'm enjoying just smelling the strawberry. I haven't felt the need to even take a nibble of them yet. Both kids have tried one and they said they were good. Alice said they smell like cereal, which they kind of do. I don't know what kind of cereal, but they kind of smell like a cereal. But Will can have one of those when he gets home. I'm not going to start dinner quite yet. Usually I like to have dinner ready for him when he gets home because it's been a long day and he doesn't take lunch. So, but where he got out a little bit earlier today, it is only 3:13 right now. So I'm not starting dinner yet. He has a snack in the car that will hold him over on his drive home, and then he can have a cookie, and then I'll probably get started on dinner shortly after he gets home, probably around 5, just so we're eating at a more normal time of day. And I think I mentioned at the beginning of the video I'm making chicken parm tonight, but I do like lazy chicken parm, where I use the Tyson breaded chicken patties as our chicken, and then I bake them in the oven, add cheese the last few minutes and let that melt, and then we just use marinara or pizza sauce over top. So I'm doing that along with a Caesar salad, and I have 2 boxes of pastaroni Alfredo shells, so I thought that would go good with it as well. I will skip out on the pasta, but enjoy a large Caesar salad and probably a chicken patty or 2. They do have some carbs because they're breaded, but they're not too horribly bad. So it is about 4:35. I'm gonna get dinner started. I've got the oven preheating. These are the Tyson chicken patties that we use for our chicken parm. And then I've just got a jar of pizza sauce to use on top of that, and I'll add cheese, like I said, in the last few minutes of cooking. 2 boxes of this pastaroni shells and white cheddar. I've got water coming to a boil on the stove for that. Measured out the milk I'll need, and the butter is over by the stove. Alright, we are all sitting down to dinner. Happy Valentine's Day. Alright friends, I think I'm going to close this out for the night. It is currently 7:45. We are apparently supposed to be getting a lot of rain starting around 1 a.m. tonight. Well, tomorrow morning, 1 a.m. and lasting kind of on and off through the day into Sunday afternoon. So we've got our pump hooked up. If you saw our basement flood last week, you know that we, and the subsequent videos that followed that, you know that we got a pump hooked up with water sensors, so it turns on when the water hits a certain point, because what happens is we do have some water that comes in from the base of the walls, but our drain that we have down there backs up and starts to back up into the basement. And so that's where, when the water, or when the ground is super saturated, that happens. And it's currently pretty saturated because we've had apparently 200% more rain than last February, which is a lot. So I don't know how bad it's going to get here. We're not technically like in a flood zone, I don't think. We're not by any big bodies of water or rivers, but we definitely get some flooding in the basement. So if our last big rain is any indication, we will definitely be having some standing, well, not standing water, but rising water in the basement that hopefully our pump will take care of this time. So Fingers crossed. We'll keep you updated. I'm sure by the time I wake up in the morning, I'll know more if it rains overnight. But thanks for coming along on our Valentine's Day. Drop a comment, share some love, and we will see you again tomorrow. Bye.